In 2001, a federal prosecutor in Virginia sent an internal warning to the president of Purdue Pharma. OxyContin, the company's flagship painkiller, had just been linked to 59 overdose deaths in his jurisdiction alone. 59 people with names, families, and obituaries. The executive read the memo, and then he typed his reply. This is not too bad. It could have been far worse. His name is Richard Sackler. Today, he is a billionaire, and he is a free man. That single drug, OxyContin, would ultimately contribute to over 500,000 overdose deaths across the United States. We already know the details of how this disaster happened. The question we need to examine is why it keeps happening. Across every industry, generation after generation, executives oversee mass fatalities, while the legal system ensures they face zero criminal liability. In the 1970s, Exxon's own scientists concluded that burning fossil fuels would cause irreversible climate change. The company buried that research and quietly funded decades of climate denial campaigns. A decade later, DuPont's internal studies confirmed their manufacturing chemical, PFOA, caused cancer and killed lab animals in a single dose. They hid the findings and continued dumping the chemical waste directly into the waterways of West Virginia. Because of that decision, the CDC estimates that 99% of all humans on Earth now carry DuPont's forever chemicals in their blood. In the 1990s, Boeing engineers flagged severe safety flaws in the 737 MAX. The company hid a defective autopilot system from its pilots. 346 people died in 2 crashes. The CEO was fired, but he left with a severance package worth millions. Internal research finds a fatal harm. The company buries it and lobbies the regulators and scales up production. Eventually, they get caught, pay a fine, and walk free. This is a highly calculated architecture of immunity. If you want to understand exactly how this machine is built, like this video and subscribe to help expose it. Under United States law, corporations are treated as legal persons. They can be sued, they can be put on trial, and they can be fined. But the human beings who run them are protected by a legal barrier known as the corporate veil. To bypass that veil and put an executive in a prison cell, prosecutors face a massive burden of proof. They have to prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, that an individual leader personally directed a crime and possessed the specific intent to commit fraud. In 1994, the CEOs of America's largest tobacco companies sat before Congress. Under oath, every single one swore they did not believe nicotine was addictive. They relied on that specific word, believe, coached by attorneys who knew it would shield them from perjury charges. Proving internal state of mind is nearly impossible. And yet, documents later proved these same companies had been funding fake counter-science since 1954 to intentionally obscure the link between cigarettes and cancer. When courts finally catch up decades later, no individual goes to jail. The corporation simply pays a financial settlement. That money comes out of shareholder pockets, essentially making the fine a pre-calculated cost of doing business. But corporations rarely design these schemes entirely on their own. They use third-party consulting firms. Entities like McKinsey and Company, who manufacture no physical goods, but specialize in optimizing profit engines. When the opioid crisis became too visible and OxyContin sales began to slip, Purdue Pharma hired McKinsey. The consulting firm delivered what they called the OxyContin sales engine Turbocharge plan, a strategy built to counter grieving mothers whose children had overdosed. The plan included an idea so extreme that even Purdue executives rejected it. McKinsey suggested offering pharmacies a financial reward for every addicted customer. They called it a rebate per overdose. Consultants act as a liability buffer. They optimize the detonation radius of a dangerous product, collect massive fees, and when the settlement comes down, they quietly walk away without a single partner facing criminal charges. The revolving door is a structural conflict of interest, designed to neutralize government oversight from the inside out. The specific FDA commissioner who approved OxyContin in 1995, allowing it to go to market with minimal addiction warnings, resigned from the agency 2 years later. He immediately went to work for the law firm representing Purdue Pharma. This exact mechanism repeats across every major regulatory body. The FAA allows Boeing to conduct its own safety inspections. The EPA cycles its senior officials straight into lobbying roles for DuPont and Exxon. Regulators and the regulated are the exact same people. This transfers all the operational risk to the public, while keeping all the profit private. If you think this system needs to be dismantled, Subscribe to the channel because we are going to keep pulling these threads. So we return to our original question. Why does this happen over and over again? This chart shows the historical profit columns of companies like Exxon, DuPont, and Purdue, compared to the fines they eventually faced. It reveals a terrifying truth. Mass corporate casualties are the result of a highly rational economic decision. The financial penalty is always a microscopic fraction of the revenue generated by the offense. Because the legal process takes decades to unfold, billions of dollars can be extracted before any regulators intervene. For an executive sitting safely above that corporate veil, compliance with the law is mathematically illogical. Corporations do not have souls to corrupt. They are profit-maximizing machines executing an economic algorithm. 400 years ago, the Dutch East India Company massacred entire populations to secure trade routes, and they called it capitalism. Today, a pharmaceutical company triggers 500,000 deaths, and we call it a public health crisis. The underlying machinery remains identical. The only variable is the body count. Look where the perpetrators are now. The Sacklers retain their billionaire wealth. McKinsey consults for governments globally. Big Oil reports record-breaking profits. When the public outrage finally boils over, the system adapts by simply changing its branding. DuPont spins off its chemical division into Corteva. Philip Morris rebrands to Altria, continuing to sell a product that kills 7 million people a year. The machine does not stop. Its architecture was designed to operate in the shadows. Subscribe to the Prometheus Playbook to learn the secrets of the global elite.